The Writings of Nichiren Daishonin, Volume 1, Letter 113, The Two Kinds of Faith. I've received your offerings of taros, skewer-dried persimmons, parched rice, chestnuts, bamboo shoots, and bamboo containers of vinegar. There was once a ruler in India named Ashoka the Great. He reigned over a quarter of the land of Jambudvipa and, accompanied by the Dragon Kings, controlled the rain at his will. He even used demons to do his bidding. At first he was a merciless ruler, but later he converted to Buddhism. He made offerings to 60,000 monks each day and erected 84,000 stone stupas. On inquiring into the previous lifetime of this great sovereign, we find that in the days of Shakyamuni Buddha, there were two little boys called Virtue Victorious and Invincible, who once offered the Buddha a mud pie. Because of this act of sincerity, the boy Virtue Victorious was reborn within 100 years as King Ashoka. The Buddha is, of course, respect-worthy, but when compared with the Lotus Sutra, he is like a firefly beside the sun or moon. The superiority of the Lotus Sutra to Shakyamuni Buddha is as great as the distance from heaven to earth. Presenting offerings to the Buddha produces benefits like that. How much more so is this true of the Lotus Sutra? If such a marvelous reward was brought about by the mere offering of a mud pie, how much more will come about as a result of all your various gifts? He suffered no shortage of food, but now we are in a land where hunger prevails. Therefore, how could Shakyamuni Buddha, Many Treasures Buddha, and the 10 demon daughters possibly fail to protect you? Today, there are people who have faith in the Lotus Sutra. The belief of some is like fire, while that of others is like water. When the former listen to the teachings, their passion flare up like fire. But as time goes on, they tend to discard their faith. To have faith like water means believe continuously without ever regressing. Since you visit me constantly, regardless of the difficulties, your belief is comparable to flowing water. It is worthy of great respect. It is true that there is illness in your family? If so, it cannot be the work of demons. Probably the 10 demon daughters are testing the strength of your faith. No demon worthy of the name would even think of troubling a votary of the sutra and having its head broken. Persist in your faith with the firm conviction that both Shakyamuni Buddha and the Lotus Sutra are free from any falsehood. With my deep respect, Nichiren. The 25th day of the second month. Reply to Ueno. Background. Nichiren Daishonin wrote this letter at Minobu to Nanjo Tokimitsu, the steward of Ueno village in Suruga province, in the second month of the 4th year of Kenji 1278. The previous year had been a time of turmoil. A serious drought had devastated crops, and the resulting famine brought countless hardships. In addition, an epidemic had swept the area, causing many deaths. At the same time, the threat of a second invasion by Mongol forces contributed to a general feeling of unease. In this letter, Nichiren Daishonin expresses his gratitude for Nanjo's offerings and praises him for his deep sincerity. He introduces the concept of the two kinds of faith like ephemeral fire and faith like ever-flowing water. The Daishonin lauds Nanjo's faith as being like the latter.